All right, so Kirabo and the Obia Man Sketchpad is a children's book written by Tyrone Maye, drawing on his imagination and his Jamaican culture. He joins us now. Tyrone, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Bond. Can you hear me?
Of course, I can hear you quite clearly, mate. Like, where in the UK are you?
I'm actually in Cardwell in my residence in Hanover.
Oh, you're into Jamaica.
I am
You're
back
onto...
home. I was awakened this morning by the village alarm, the roosters, obviously.
Very nice, very nice. But you work now with the NHS in London, no?
I do at the North Middlesex Hospital, a major hospital in North London.
Okay, fantastic. And you have been writing for a little while. 2013, you started with Sunshine Bliss. You say it was a steep curve for you. Tell me a little bit about why you fell in love with writing in the first place. Or how?
Reading and storytelling was always my thing. I remember reading lots of books when I was a child, and then I would add my own little bits to it to tell my friends their stories. So that was a key starting point. And as I grew older, I started exploring into writing small articles, small pieces, and I send them around, and the responses were usually positive. So that got me even more confident to do it.
Yeah.
However, in regards to actually writing books, I must say it wasn't until 2012 that I actually started, when I wrote Sunshine Bliss on a cell phone at the time because I didn't have a computer. And I was at the libraries all the time reading so much stuff. So that was part of the whole journey.
Fantastic. Well, 2016 you went to the UK. And you were working in the hospital, so you saw what happened as COVID ravaged and ravaged and ravaged. And then in 2020, as the pandemic still raged, you decided that you were going to do your debut children's title. Inspiration behind that one?
The inspiration behind it was at the hospital, we had a lot of patients who came in who were obviously affected by COVID. And at the time I was working as a porter, so I had first-hand experience of being on the wards where the patients were. And chief amongst a lot of the patients, their concern was their pets, their animals, which were left behind at home. So Furry and the Furry's Frantic Journey was actually a story in regards to that translates for the pets that were left at home by the people who went into the hospital, and then those pets had a situation to get to their owners. So it was just basically that.
Yeah. So you did. Wow. You were on a roll now. So you went Forest Frantic Journey, Mule and the Donkey, Bingy and the Seagull, and the reason we're talking today, which is Kirabo and the Obia Man's Sketchpad, which is, well, I'm going to ask you to tell us what it is, but high level. It's a Jamaican folktale about an 8-year-old boy who has several encounters with a greedy, manipulative Obia Man. I find it interesting too, Tyrone, that you've created your own imprint now to represent your books. That's fantastic. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And then I note your acknowledgements. You dedicate this book to a very important person who you call your Black heroine. Talk to me about that before we get into the book.
The foundation of everything, my mother. Not to say my father isn't important, but I grew up with my mom as in a single parent household in Cardwell. I'm the third child of 4, and everything that I'm doing now, I owe it to her. I recognized her efforts at a later date, obviously, because as a child, you didn't always see what she was doing, but she was tremendous. She put so much effort into me having the education, having the mindset that I have now.
Yeah.
And so when I wrote this story, it was basically my way of saying, Mom, this is my gift back to her. sadly, she's not here anymore. She's passed on.
I'm so sorry to hear that, Tyrone. But there is a certain joy and catharsis in being able to write this and say, Mommy, this is yours. You know, that gives you some level of, yes, for sure. And so the synopsis is, this is an 8-year-old boy. He's living with his family on a farm in Western Hanover. His dad leaves to find work when he's 3 and doesn't come back. Give us a short version now as to what happens from there to the end.
Kirabo has the ideas of most young boys at that age growing up in the countryside of Jamaica. So the story is relatable to young children from that perspective. What happens within the context is that the Obia Man, who knows the plight of the family, goes to the house and gives Kirabo a magic device which the Obia Man cannot use because he's evil. So he preys upon the innocence of Kirabo and returns multiple times to collect things, which is his own natural greed. The main points in the story, which I think will relate a lot more with a lot of my readers, is that although magic is involved, the greatest thing that happens in there is the bond between Kirabo and his mom, which is the love that he has for him.
Right. So the Obia Man tries to woo him, but Kirabo unravels the scheme using his wit and guidance of someone else. But fixing things requires something mightier than any enchantment, you say, a mother's love. Love that. So where do we, first of all, how is the title doing? And then where do we get it so we can support you?
It's actually doing well in the UK and the US and on the international stage, because now that I have my own imprint, I was able to get it into all the major online stores. And at the moment, I am connecting with a local distributor and printer so that the books will be here in the stores. But for now, it's available online on Amazon and on all the major bookstores.
Yeah. And do you have a couple more titles that are in final stages?
Yes, certainly. Candy and the King of Kites, a literary classic, which is written from a Caribbean perspective as well. That one is about a 10-year-old boy who lives with his dad, who is an alcoholic. That will be out in April. And there are several other children's titles coming pretty soon as well.
Yeah, look here, Tyrone, this looks like full-time authorship, man. Is that the plan?
You know, I actually used to work, throughout the pandemic, I was working 7 days per week and writing at night. So thankfully my wife was understanding. But now I had to give up 2 days, which is the weekends, to concentrate more on doing my work.
Okay. All right, well, we watch. Look for this one, folks, as Tyrone looks to tie up those deals with the local bookshops. In the meantime, you can support him on Amazon and the other major platforms. The book is called Kirabo and the Obia Man's Sketchpad. Thank you, Tyrone Maye, and all the best to you. When do you get back out of Jamaica and go back into the colds?
I go back on the 28th of April, so I've pretty much just started my time away.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to Easter, obviously.
Yeah, man.
So I'll be here for a while.
Enjoy.
I'll definitely enjoy it.
Yes.
It's always good coming back to the community.
Absolutely, because that's where your motivation is. You come back, you fill up with gas, and you go back again until it runs out, and then you come back again and you fill up. We know how it goes, Tyrone. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, folks, and that is it for Off the Shelf. On the other side of the break, we're going to talk about annoying